So tell me, Casey, introduce yourself, man, to our listeners. I know I did a brief introduction, but kind of give us your background. What did you do prior to real estate?
I was just I was serving fine dining. That's basically what I was doing. And let me see if I can delete this thing here. Um, I was serving fine dining, and my parents were actually in Phoenix Market.
Okay.
And my mom had started, she was one of Brent's students. My mom and dad, I should say, were one of Brent Daniel's students.
Okay.
And they started wholesaling, and then she kind of was like, "Hey, I think you'd be really good at this." And so, you'll hear this on a lot of podcasts. I kind of start out this way because it's the intro, but it was one of those things where she was so close up with Brent in the beginning before he had really exploded TTP that there was still competition, but there
Mhm.
wasn't like an overwhelming amount of wholesalers that were actively dealing with good systems and processes and everything Brent teaches and was teaching. And so that went on for 3 or 4 months. They had some really good months. And then Brent really started to scale that TTP. And next thing you know, there's
Okay.
couple thousand wholesalers in the market. I had been calling in from
Yep.
Boise to Phoenix, so I was doing it virtual, and it started to just get stiff. It started to get a little harder, and I no one was
Hmm.
doing it here in Boise. I mean, you had your mom and pop shops that would do maybe one or two a month or whatever, but for the most part, no one was really pressing on it. And the way my brain works is scale. Even back then, I think
Hmm.
dream big. My faith is big. Like and then you got to go out and execute, right? And so I had a conversation with my mom and my dad, Chris and Cindy Fagan, and I was really just like, hey, I think there's an opportunity to come to Boise. Why don't we? And initially, it started out that why don't I do work here in Boise? You do your work in Phoenix, and we'll just throw it all on the table and split everything up. That's originally how it started. So we would have two markets, and then um, my company here overtook that market pretty quickly, and we really started picking up some steam.
Okay.
And so then I eventually, my parents decided, and we all decided as a team that they would move out here to Boise, and we would just focus on Gem State Cash Offer, which is our wholesale company here. Um, and it's been great. It's been the wholesale
Okay.
piece has been. We don't press on the wholesale as much as well. I should say we're starting to press on it again, but we haven't been. We'll get into it, I'm
Okay.
sure. I essentially opened up a flip stream, and then I opened up a build stream, and then I opened up a spec stream, and then we opened up our luxury stream, and then also multifamily
Okay.
also. So while that was all going on, the wholesale thing just kind of stayed consistent, 50 to 70 deals a year. So we went down from 100, but 50 to 70, and it was at a nice scalable model where we had all of our systems were processes and automated, and we could really focus on construction. So that's kind of how I started. That's the nuts and bolts. Just, I'm a
Okay.
big God guy, and I was just reading and praying and
Thumbs up.
yeah, reading and praying and communicating with him, and we got our first big wholesale here. Really, my first big wholesale that I had done. I think at that time it was like 20K, and I had been working two jobs serving tables, and I was just like, I knew it was the moment to go. So I cut my
Okay.
night off and went all in at that point in time.
Hmm.